Hey guys, welcome to Shark Algo. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to use these buy and sell signals so you can make money trading crypto, forex, and stocks in any market. This way, you can increase your win rate and finally achieve financial freedom. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, this will take your trading to the next level. You're going to learn how to use the most advanced, simple to use, and incredibly accurate buy and sell signals so you can start seeing success with your trades right away. Plus, you'll learn to use some other features that SharkAlgo has to offer so you can maximize your profits. By the time you're done with this video, you'll effectively be able to use our trading system and manage your SharkAlgo settings. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so before we dive into setting up SharkAlgo on TradingView, let's get you all set up with a Discord community. This is important because Discord is where you'll be able to get help with anything you need when it comes to learning or asking questions about the SharkAlgo indicator. So the first step you're going to want to do is go to SharkAlgo.com and you're going to hit the join Discord button right up here. If you already have Discord, it's going to prompt you to accept invite. If you don't, then you'll need to download the app or simply go through their official website on discord.com and create a free account there. It's going to be quick and easy. Alright, so now that you've created your Discord account, I'm going to show you how to navigate through our Discord server so you know where to find our admins and chat rooms so you can engage with other community members and ask any questions. This way you can get all the support you need on your trading journey. You'll also notice some other chat rooms that will offer you things like crypto knowledge, trading ideas, and see what others in the community are talking about. Alright, so now that you're in our server, you'll see on the far left side is where all the servers are. You'll also notice that each channel is categorized by topic. For example, here we have the welcome section, where you can learn about our Discord roles, channels, and rules. Below is the information section, where we share important announcements relevant to all our members, along with some courses and strategy videos. Right below that is our signals section, where our analysts provide crypto and forex signals so you can copy the same trades they're making, and you can make money every day while you learn how to use the SharkAlgo indicator. They're literally sharing their trades in real time, so keep an eye out on those channels. As you can see, we have a channel on trading, investing in crypto right over here. There's also a channel for members to share their profits so you can see the profits that everybody is making as well. And right below that is the question channel where we encourage you to ask us any questions you have. You can also ask a question to an admin by going to the far right on the side and right-clicking on an admin's name and sending them a private message. We're always happy to help, so make sure you let us know if you have any questions. In the screener category, this is where anybody who purchased SharkAlgo will get notifications about a buy or sell signal that just popped up on the chart. So this way, you can catch more opportunities at the right times without having to keep your eye out on the chart every minute of the day. And the last thing I want to show you is our education section. This is where you can master your trading skills with SharkAlgo. We encourage you to always sharpen your skills by constantly learning. SharkAlgo will give you incredible signals, but if you want to increase your win rate even further, we recommend that you develop your technical analysis skills as you go on your trading journey with us. Alright, so next up is setting up the indicator. You're going to go to TradingView.com, which is the page you see right over here, and you're going to make sure that you're logged in with the username that you provided SharkAlgo when you signed up. Then you're going to hover over the Products tab button right up here, and then you're going to scroll down and click on Chart. Now, once you do that, you'll see this empty chart with no indicator set up. So the first thing is to click on Indicators. Then you're going to go to Invite Only Scripts, and from there, you're going to click on SharkAlgo and Shark Oscillator. You're going to give it a second, and now you'll be able to access the toolbar so you can adjust your settings. Now, before we do any of that, let's quickly cover some basics for some of you, just in case you're not familiar with candles, time frames, and some other tools on TradingView, which you can combine with SharkAlgo to have an awesome trading experience. Alright guys, another thing I wanted to mention is because you might have the free version of TradingView, you want to make sure that you clear up any indicators on a chart because it only allows you up to 3 at a time. So what you want to do is right click on the chart and click on Remove Indicators. And now your chart will be all clear. Alright, now let's get into the basics. On the right side is where you can create your watch list. You can create a specific watch list for crypto, forex, or stock, or a watch list that's a mix with all of them if you want to. Now, for the chart itself, green candles means the price is going up, red candles means it's going down. And we'll dive into that a little bit more later in this video. Now, over here is where you have the price graph, so you can see the price history. On the left side will be all the tools you can use with TradingView. For example, drawing a trend line, you'll need to go right up here and you can draw a line connecting the highs and lows of the candles. It's pretty straightforward. If you want to draw any other types of lines, you click here to access all of these right over here. And I recommend, if you want to take some time to explore all of these tools, or go on YouTube and search for an in-depth how-to video about TradingView. All right, now let's get into candlesticks. A candlestick is used in technical analysis, which displays the high, low, open, and closing prices over a specific period of time. This is the preferred method for traders because of the story the candle tells you about any given period of time. You can identify many patterns that are more bullish or bearish. And by the way, bullish means price is trending up, bearish means price is trending down. So when looking at candles, there's a time frame for the chart you're looking at. Here's an example. We can look at the 1 minute, 5 minute, and daily chart right over here. This shows you the specific time increment for which the asset opened and closed at price-wise. For example, let's take a look at the 5-minute candles. Using the Japanese style candles, that's what we're going to go for. Each candle represents the price movement during the time frame we just selected. And if we choose the daily time frame, right over here, you'll see different patterns since each candle represents the price movement for each day now. So this is pretty straightforward, right? Now let's get into, let's define each part really quickly. So first, you have the body. That's the overall thicker part of the stick. Second, you have the wick or shadow. This is the smaller part compared to the body. This tells you the highest and lowest price point traded during a specific time increment you're using on the chart. Now, what the red and green determine is obviously whether the price was going up or down during that time. And more specifically, green candles tell you that the price point closed at a higher price than it opened, and red tells you that the price closed lower than it opened. Traders use candlesticks to analyze any and all periods of trading, including daily or hourly cycles, and there are all sorts of patterns that we look for as well. Keep in mind, SharkAlgo is going to do a lot of heavy lifting for you, but it's really important to know how to read the chart yourself. Okay, so now that you got some basics understood, and you have the SharkAlgo indicator set up, we want to make sure that we're using the right candle type. And doing so will actually make sure our signals have a better chance of hitting your take profit zones and overall just get you better signals. So let's go up here where the upper toolbar is and click on candle style, and then we're going to go down to where it says Heikinashi. All right, so now that you're on that, you'll have much more accurate signals given to you by SharkAlgo. Okay, so now that you got the basics covered, I'm going to show you how to use SharkAlgo. You're going to go to the SharkAlgo indicator or toolbar and then click the gear icon. Then the first thing we're going to do is enable the advanced dashboard. What this does is it gives you a clear and simple way to identify critical information regarding a trading pair you're looking at. So as you can see here, the overall current trend is bearish. Price condition is oversold, and volume is displayed here, and the volatility is ranging. I want to emphasize that we do not want to get into any trades if it states that it's ranging here. Unless you're a more advanced trader, we don't recommend doing this. If it's trending bullish or bearish, then we recommend you ride the trend by following the buy or sell signal during that time. So the time frame trends is showing you the trend during that specific time frame. So sometimes you might notice a bullish trend for the 1 minute, 3 minute, and 15 minute, for example, but bearish for all others. For beginners, to get the highest success rate, we recommend entering a trade when all time frame trends are matching. So for this example, we would wait until the 1 minute and 3 minute turns bearish, and the volatility begins trending. And then we'll be ready to take a smart sell signal when it appears. And the same is true when looking for a smart buy. if we were looking at another trading pair and the time frames were all green or bullish, we would be ready to take a smart buy signal when it appears, and only when it's trending. Now, the last thing I want to mention is that you could also look for a buy or sell signal if the time frame is trending for a specific time frame you're currently looking to trade on. But that's generally more risky, especially if you're not a seasoned trader. Okay, now that's basically the dashboard in a nutshell. We'll explain volume and other details at another time. And a little quick tip for beginners: when you move around your chart and the size gets a little confusing, simply right click like this and hit reset. This is helpful when you're moving through different time frames. And also, if you want to move the dashboard, simply go back to the settings. And the dashboard distance over here just means how much to the left or right you want the dashboard positioned on your chart. The lower the number will move it to the left, and higher brings it further to the right. It's pretty simple. All right, now let's get into the buy and sell signals. So right over here, you can check the buy and sell signals off if you want to remove them, because there's other strategies that we'll show you later on in this video with SharkAlgo other than the buy and sell signals. For now, let's keep them on and show you how to use them. So we're going to keep this under normal strategy and explain the other strategies in a few minutes. Okay, so as you can see, we have the sensitivity at 1.4. Now, let's get into what sensitivity means. Sensitivity basically lets you adjust how much confirmation you want the SharkAlgo signals to provide. So the lower the number, the faster or more signals you're going to receive, but with less confirmation. Meaning that there's more opportunity for false signals. This is critical. And the higher the number, the more confirmation, but slower or less signals you'll receive on the chart. Now, you don't want false signals, so what you want to do is try to find the optimal setting. Now, for my trading style personally, I like to have the sensitivity at 1.1 to 1.4 when it comes to trading with the Heikin Ashi style candles. If you want to use a regular Japanese style candle, you want to make sure that you're using a sensitivity of at least 3 or higher. I recommend 3 or 6, but check it out for yourself to determine which one you prefer personally. I highly recommend you practice until you find your sweet spot. So for now, let's leave it at 1.3 as we're using the Heikin Ashi candle, and get into how to use the buy and sell signals, okay? So let's go over how and when you should be trading with these signals. First, so we recommend that you try to only trade with these smart signals. So the ones that have smart sell or smart buy. This is really important because it helps you trade with the trend. And trading with the trend will increase how often you make successful trades, so you can get that 80% win rate that you want. All right, so now let's go over an example on how to take a trade using the signals. As you can see here, we've got a smart signal, and you'll notice that there are regular signals as well. We just want to focus on the smart signals. The smart signals mean they are going in the direction of the underlying trend, which means you'll likely be able to stay in a trade longer and maximize your profits. Now, it's important to know when to enter the trade after you get the smart signal. When you receive a smart signal on a chart, you'll need to make sure you wait for the next candle to appear before entering the trade. The reason being is because the signal with the smart sell is not a confirmed signal until the candle closes. Once it closes, then you know you got confirmation from the signal to take the trade. If you just jump the gun early, things may change and the signal could disappear before the candle closes. So you'll want to line up your cursor with the signal icon like this, and then enter the price on the next opening candle where the blue arrow is pointing. And in case some of you may not know, you can make money off the asset going down in price, and that's called shorting. If you don't know what shorting is, check out our playlist for a video tutorial on what it means. So we entered here and have been in profit the whole way down as the price moved lower. Now remember, we want to avoid any false signals, so finding the right balance is key. And the best way to use the buy and sell signals to get even more confirmation is to combine them with other features and indicators such as the Shark oscillator. right below here. Now, we also recommend you practice with fake money or a demo account for a couple of weeks to find the sensitivity that meets your preference and trading style. And as I mentioned earlier, I like the sensitivity at 1.1 to 1.6 while I'm using the Heikin Ashi candles. All right, so let's look at the next feature that you can use, which is called momentum candles. So let's turn it on here in our settings. And now that it's on, you'll notice blue or purple colored candles on the chart. It basically shows you the current trend strength. Also note that if you can't see the momentum candles on your chart, you'll need to zoom in for them to appear. Another important thing to know is that the longer the body of the candle, the stronger the momentum. So knowing this can help you to stay in the trades longer or know when to take profits. For example, you can see that we only had bearish momentum candles displayed on our chart. This indicates that there was stronger momentum to the downside, which would have given you more confirmation so you could stay in a trade longer. Or move your stop losses and take profits once momentum decreases, which can signal a trend change. Here's another example. So you can see these candles are purple. Whenever the candle is purple and you're already in a sell position, that basically just means to stay in a trade until you see the candles become red again. Or if you see green and blue, like over here, that means that it's losing momentum and you should probably get out of the trade. But you can also hold on a bit longer to see if it turns red or purple again and it catches momentum and the price starts going down once more. So setting a trailing stop loss is key for scenarios like this. We'll show you that feature in just a moment. Okay, so now we'll show you another strategy that does not use the buy and sell signals. If you're a beginner, I recommend you don't use this just yet. If you're intermediate and you like to use price action, trend lines, support and resistance, then this will be incredible for you. Okay, so let's go back to settings. In the strategy section, we'll switch from normal mode to Trendscalper mode. Click OK. Now you can see a cloud of red and green. Obviously, red means bearish and green means bullish. Now, let's look over here at this example. As the cloud went from red to green, you would have placed a buy along here. And as the cloud gets thicker, it's letting you know that the trend is getting stronger. As the cloud gets thinner and starts to turn red, that's when you may want to take profits, and you could consider taking a sell position if you notice the cloud getting thicker. So basically, if you see the cloud changing to a thicker red, then that's confirming that the price is trending downwards for this time frame. And if you see a thicker green cloud, then that's telling you it's trending upwards. Now, we won't spend too much time on this, so be sure to stay tuned for a more in-depth tutorial on this strategy in a separate video. All right, now we're going to turn this mode off because the next features I'm going to show you don't work with this strategy. So let's go back to settings. And we're going to go back to normal mode. Okay. And now that that's done, we're going to go over the risk management settings. Now, it's extremely important that you understand this in order for you to be successful with SharkAlgo. So before we get into it, I just want to emphasize it's important that you use these tools in order to optimize your success with SharkAlgo and trading in general. It's extremely important that you understand how to use this so you can protect your capital. I've seen people get overly confident after winning multiple trades in a row, so they go all in and they don't set a proper stop loss and take profit zone. And then they blow their account and lose big time. So always ensure you're setting stop losses. Now remember, you won't always be right with your trades. The algo is incredible, but it isn't 100% right all the time. However, it is right most of the time, especially if you're finding additional confirmation. But regardless, you need to have a plan to minimize your losses when you happen to be wrong. The best traders in the world are wrong sometimes, and that's okay. So just know if you win more than you lose and implement good risk management strategies, you can consistently earn more than you lose. And that's how you grow your wealth over time. So let's get into that part now. Okay, now we're going to show you a feature that makes it simple for you to find your entry positions, take profit, and stop loss levels. Right here, let's turn this on by clicking Enable Take Profit and Stop Loss Areas. We're going to hit OK. So this is going to tell you where to enter the trade, where to place your stop loss, and where to take profits. This information is generated based on your last signal on the chart. So looking at this chart here, you can see that you would have entered the trade at this price right over here where it says entry. And your stop loss is right over here, which shows you that it's recommending you set your stop loss at this price. Also note that this will vary depending on the time frame you're looking at. And of course, you'll need to enter this information on the exchange that you're using to make your trades. Now, to clarify, a stop loss basically protects you in case the price moves against your position, as we mentioned earlier in the video. So, for example, once you set it on your exchange and the price hits your stop loss, it will automatically get you out of the trade so you can preserve your capital and reduce your losses. Now, you can imagine if you didn't set a stop loss and the trend reversed against you. You can have some major losses, so it's really important that you never forget to do that. And you can always modify the stop loss level depending on what the indicator has shown you and how much confirmation you're able to identify in a chart while using the SharkAlgo tools. So this last signal told us that our take profit 1 was here, and our take profit 2 was right over here, set at this price. Now, since there are multiple take profit levels, you have the option to take a percentage of your profits at the first level, and you can take the rest once it hits the second level. For example, you take 50% of take profit 1 and the other 50% at take profit 2. And those are the 50% of the gains. It all depends on your strategy and risk tolerance. And as you can see in take profit 1, it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and then take profit 2 is a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Okay, so that's the basics of that feature. It basically makes it easy for you to determine your risk to reward ratio, and it sets up your entry, stop loss, and take profit levels for you automatically, which you'll enter directly on the trading exchange that you're using. And remember, you can always make adjustments to these values at any time during your trade. All right. So now let's continue with the risk management settings. Let's go back to settings and let's go over the trailing stop loss tool, and I'll explain what the difference is between a stop loss and a trailing stop loss. So first, we're going to turn off this filter for now so you can clearly see the trailing stop loss. And let's turn the trailing stop loss filter on. Okay, so now that it's on, you can see a red line which is tracking above or below the candles. So if you're in a buy signal, the trailing stop loss will be under, as you can see right over here. And if you're in a sell signal, the red line will be tracking above, as you can see right over here. So for example, if we're using the principle of a trailing stop loss, we can see that if we took this buy signal over here, we would have gone out of that trade in this area over here. Once the price broke this line, as you can see, the wick hit our trailing stop loss. But because we followed this rule, you would have still been in profit from when you entered the trade. This trailing stop loss ensures you would have been in profit and would have got you out of the trade before a reversal occurs and you lose all the profits that you just made. Now, the same goes for a sell signal, except the trailing stop loss is tracking above, as you can see over here. It hasn't hit our trailing stop loss yet, so that means we would have still been in a trade. And remember, you can make your own modifications and go over slightly above or below the recommendation that you're seeing with this tool. And this is very simple to use and very useful to ensure you're managing your risk accordingly. All right, so now let's look at the next feature. We're going to go back to the settings, and we're going to enable show swing highs and swing lows. This essentially gives you a visual of the swing lows or swing highs on your chart directly. It'll help you connect trend lines and identify any potential reversals. So let's turn it on and disable the trailing stop loss right here for now so you can clearly see what I'm talking about. You're going to click OK. So a swing high basically means we have a price peak followed by a decline, and vice versa for a swing low. Higher swing highs are associated with uptrends, and lower swing highs are associated with downtrends or a loss of momentum in the uptrend. And basically, lower swing lows are associated with a downtrend. You can also clearly see how close together or far apart the swing highs or swing lows are, which could help you determine the trend strength. Also, a swing high that's much higher than the previous swing high can mean that buyers are hungry to get in. So swing highs can be useful for determining the direction of the trend as well as the strength, which can assist you when you're entering or exiting a trade. Now, another example is if the most recent swing high was far above the previous swing high, this shows there's a lot of buying interest and strength. If a swing high forms just barely above the last swing high, the price may still be in an uptrend, but it is not moving as strongly. So if the swings stop reaching new highs, it could signal a downtrend or an uptrend that has lost momentum. So make sure you keep that in mind when seeking additional confirmation before you place your trades. Alright, so now we're going to turn off the swing highs and swing lows, and we're going to reapply the buy and sell signals. So let's cover some other useful aids that will help you with your trading when you're using SharkAlgo. Now, let's go over the trend cloud settings, auto support and resistance, and auto trend lines. So let's start with the trend cloud. What this does is it gives you a solid visual to determine where the trend is heading and how strong the trend is. When the cloud is red, it means it's bearish and we only want to take sell signals. And if it's green, we only want to look for buy signals. And something that's really helpful is to reduce any additional clutter on your chart, because sometimes too much information can lead you to making some unnecessary mistakes. So we're going to turn trend only signals on. So we're going to go back to settings, and we're going to go to show trend only signals. And now you'll get less clutter on your chart. Okay, so to use an example, looking at the spare right over here, you can see we got a smart sell right here, and the trend cloud was thin, but got thicker as it went on. This means the trend is strong. If it gets thinner, it means the trend is weakening. So this is very simple and important because trading with the trend will lead to higher win rates. All right, now getting into trend lines and support and resistance. Trend lines are easily recognizable lines that we use to draw on charts to connect a series of prices together. The trend lines can give us a good idea of the prediction in which the price might move. So understanding the direction of a trend is one of the simplest ways to increase the probability of making a successful trade because it ensures that the general market forces are working in your favor. Let's look at an example right over here. So downward sloping trend lines suggest that there's an excessive amount of supply for the asset, a sign that market participants have a higher willingness to sell the asset than to buy it. And as you can see right over here, when a downward sloping trend line is present, you should refrain from holding a long position. A long position basically means you're predicting that the price will go up from where you entered the trade. In this case, a gain on a move upwards is unlikely when the overall longer term trend is heading downwards. So trend lines can also be used effectively to gauge potential areas of support and resistance, which can help you determine the likelihood that the trend will continue. Support can easily be viewed as the bottom of the trend line and resistance as the top of the trend line. You're also going to notice that there are a series of lower highs and lower lows, which is one of the most obvious ways to confirm a downtrend. And the same is true for an uptrend as well. But as you can see in this chart heading downwards, you can easily spot the lower highs and the lower lows. So you need to pay attention when the price approaches a trend line because these areas often play a major role in determining the short-term direction of the asset's price. Now, as the price nears a major support or resistance level, there are two different scenarios that can occur. The price will bounce off the trend line and continue in the direction of the prior trend, or it's going to move through the trend line, which can then be used as a sign that the current trend is reversing or weakening. Trend lines are a really simple tool that can be used to gauge the overall direction of a given asset, but they can also be used to help predict areas of support and resistance. So this means that trend lines are used to identify the levels on a chart which the price of an asset will have a difficult time moving past. Now, this information is really useful when looking for strategic entry levels or can be used to effectively manage risk by identifying areas to place stop loss orders or where to take profits. And basically, to sum it all up, Understanding the direction of a trend is one of the most basic ways to increase the probability of making a successful trade because it ensures that the general market forces are working in your favor. Secondly, while trend lines can be used to gauge the overall direction, they can also be used to help predict areas of support and resistance. Lastly, trend lines can vary drastically depending on the time frame used and the slope of the line. Now, when you're using SharkAlgo, we recommend taking the buy and sell signals, which are going in the direction of the underlying trend, to make sure that the current trend is working in your favor. This is going to dramatically improve your win rate and ensure you're taking the most accurate signals, which will produce the most profits. All right, so now we're going to take a look at Auto-Trendlines. So we're going to go ahead and enable it. What this does is it creates a trend line based on the length of time you selected. Additionally, the open and close or high and low just means where do you want the trend lines to connect to with regards to the candlesticks. There are various theories on each method, but here you can set it at your preference. And the trend channel loopback basically just allows you to adjust the timeline. By increasing the number over here, you're going to have longer trend lines going from further back in time, and by decreasing the number, it'll generate shorter term trend lines. By default, it's set at 200, but we recommend exploring this feature and watching our other strategy videos, which go in more details about trend lines, channels and support and resistance, and much more. All right, and finally, we're going to cover the auto support and resistance setting. This feature is automatically going to give you the support and resistance lines, which illustrate the support lines in green and the resistance lines in red. The line style over here simply means, do you want to view these lines as solid, dotted, or dashed to help you recognize them better on the chart. I personally like the dashed lines, so let's go with that and click OK. Now, the support line or green line is showing us where there is stronger demand when it reaches that area, which basically means historically on a chart, buyers are more willing to buy at those levels. And for the resistance, which is in red, shows us where the price had trouble moving up across, which basically means where people are more willing to sell at these resistance levels. Again, these are some additional tools to go in your toolbox, and we recommend combining these features and visual aids in order to optimize your trading strategy. All right, guys, so this wraps up the SharkAlgo intro course. Now, you may be aware we also have the Shark Oscillator, which is extremely effective to combine with the SharkAlgo indicator. But to prevent from overwhelming you with too much information, please watch our separate strategy video teaching you exactly how to use the Shark Oscillator. It's extremely effective at helping you confirm your entries and exits in order to maximize your profits. So, we covered some basics in this video so you can get started right away. And now that you know where to begin, you can start making winning trades simply using what you learned in this video. Remember, you can always copy some of our analyst trades in our Discord, you can ask us questions, and you can continue to educate yourself with the content we'll be putting out regularly. Finally, always remember to follow your risk management strategy. Trade with a trend and combine a few indicators and tools in order to get more confirmation on your trades. If you have any questions, please reach out to us in Discord. If you found this content helpful, please take a second to click the like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe, as we'll be bringing you more content to make investing and trading simple so you can attain financial freedom using the SharkAlgo system. To get access to our indicator, go to sharkalgo.com or check the link in our description. Hope to chat with you in our Discord, and until next time.